Welcome, welcome to my Bare Bones Kitchen. It's Monday Morsels Day. Welcome all. I have you a little off. There we go. That way you can see my cutting board. You can see it. So before I start, I just want to throw out some mad appreciation to people. I have been one of those very lucky people that have had lots of super amazing superstars in my life. Of course, my love of cooking comes from my mom, my grandma, and my Auntie Ella. So, thank you for bringing me all of this. I'm also super grateful for my children that always support me and always watch, and all of their friends that they make watch. I love you guys. Thank you. Of course, all of you for tuning in twice a week, every week. Hello, Miranda. I am super grateful for the people, specifically the strong men in my life that have always become like father figures to me. So my 6th grade teacher, Mr. West, you're a badass. Glenn Howard, you're a badass. And that's probably about it. I don't have too many of those men figures in my life, but I'm still appreciative of the ones that come. And if you are one of them and I forgot, I'm sorry. It wasn't intentional. I am also grateful to so many awesome, amazing sisters and mother figures in my life, including my own mom, obviously, and Sue McLeod, Sue Keltner, Shelley Winkelhausen, Melanie Hare, and of course the lovely Miranda and the lovely Wonderful, because without people like you, I wouldn't be here and be who I am. And I'm also super duper grateful for lots of other women in my life that have just pushed me. Jennifer Montgomery, you have helped me with my research and my whatchamacallit, my registration. That's what it is, a registration. And Nicole, you've supported me and you push me and make me a better person, and I appreciate you and all of your faith and everything that you have for me. It's been awesome. And I'm sure there's like 10 million people that I did not mention by name, but I better not forget my sister and Vanessa. I love you guys. So anyways, welcome to Monday Morsels. Sorry, I got emotional there for a minute, you know. Sometimes it happens, but cheers all. That's why we drink, right? To just hide the emotion? Is that what we do? No, that's not why I do it. I do it because I like to have 1 or 2. Except yesterday I had like 5. But we won't talk about that. It was still a good day. So today I am doing wonderful. You're going to love this compound butter. Yeah, compound butter. Hey, Tiff. So if you remember in school when you were learning about compound words, it's like 2 words that stand alone and mean something, and then you push them together and it creates a whole nother word with another meaning. That's kind of what compound butter is, because butter by itself is delicious, right? But then you can add stuff to it to just make it better. So butter alone is really great. Herbs by themselves are really great, but when you add them together, you can create a whole nother world. So I have rosemary, and this is very almost menthol smelling. This is apparently really good for your memory, so maybe I should be smelling this a lot more. Just saying. I have some sage, and if this looks familiar to you, I used all of this last week, so this was the little bits I had left over. Sage is kind of fuzzy. It's the Thanksgiving one. It's the one that smells like Thanksgiving when you smell it. And then I have my little sprigs of thyme. And those kind of smell like, kind of like that spice in your mom's cupboard where you're like, what is this? And you smelled it, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's got kind of a different fragrance to it. But I did keep this one little sprig out because I just wanted to... You've got mail. Oh, I've got mail. I wanted to show you, let me see if I can get that to focus. Maybe not. I don't know. You can see the little purple right here. Maybe. Yeah. So that means that your herbs are going to seed. You can, if you're growing herbs in your garden, you can just actually pluck those off, but you don't want them to go completely to seed because that's no good, because that will make your herbs not very delicious. So we just pluck that off of there. Just gone. Whoop, there it is. All gone. So you guys can see okay there? Yeah. Fancy and delicious. Good. I'm glad you're excited. Wonderful. So I'm not going to use too much of this in the way of herbs because I actually just whipped up 1 cube of butter. If you're not a butter person, you could totally use margarine. It may not solidify as much as you want it to, which is why I use butter, because it will actually solidify a lot more. Margarine tends to have like an oil in it, and so it doesn't get as hard because it's spreadable. So I'm just going to do a couple of those. Let's do 3. Just because I'm feeling 3. And then I'm going to wrench off a couple of it, a little bit of this, a couple of this. A couple of this, guys. Wrench off a couple of this. Just a little pile. And then I'm going to just strip these down. Strip them down, guys. Strip your herbs. Woo! What made you giggle, Miranda? I'm doing good with making you giggle today, girlfriend. Hey, all, if you have not liked the page, the story page, I posted about it a little bit ago. You should go look for it. Or Miranda, you should totally drop the name of it because you know I can never remember that damn name. But it's story time. Story time, jammies and tea. Look at that, I remembered. Woohoo! Miranda is a massage therapist, and she reads stories a couple times a month. So it's always fun, and they're super uplifting stories. And sometimes she has little breathing meditations right before it. So you can curl up with the kids or not. If you're not down and you just want to hear a story because you're an adult and you can do things like that, do that, you know. But it's awesome for kids because they're always really appropriate, and Miranda's just such an amazing person that it makes story time a lot better when the parents don't have to read and somebody else reads to them, right? That's fun. I'm just kidding. I loved reading to my kids. They were always super into it. Until we read The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and Aslan died. Oh, lordy. Wasn't a dry eye in the room, I tell you. And poor Zane still hasn't gotten through it. I've literally started reading that book to him like 6 years ago, and we're on the last book. That last book it's a doozy. It takes forever to get through it. It's probably the most boring book out of all of them. Because, of course, when they redid The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, they came out with a book that had every book in it, which was awesome. The whole series. And so I bought that for Jasmine and Tyler when they were young for Christmas. And I think Tyler's probably read it 3 times. Jasmine's probably read it just as many, if not more. I mean, they were always super big readers. Zane, on the other hand, is just like his mom. He's got 0 interest in picking up a book. 0. Alright, so I got my little piles here. We're going to do up this sage just like we do the basil, you know, because some of you are going to be real good at this one. We're going to roll it up. Knuckles on your knife so you don't cut yourself. And we're just going to incorporate all those herbs together, and we're just going to chop them up. We're going to run the knife through them until they're super fine in a nice little pile of super fineness of herbs so we can incorporate it into our butter. And what compound butter is really good for, depending on like what you're actually mixing with it, because you can make a compound butter that's sweet too, like your butter and honey to put on biscuits would be really good. Do some brown sugar and cinnamon for like cinnamon toast or French toast. That would be really good. You can do lots of different things with compound butter. You just got to think about the things that you would put butter on in the first place. And you probably could figure out something that would taste good with that butter in order to accompany the item that you are trying to use it for. And I just go different ways, so it chops those herbs up really good. Sorry, it sounds like a war zone at my house. My son is playing video games. All right. Got a nice little pile now. I'm just going to dump it in my butter. And then we're just going to mix this. Just going to incorporate all of the herbs into the butter. It doesn't take very long. So, of course, I had to make this one go a lot longer than it needed to because I had to give like a million thanks to people. But I'm so appreciative of you all. I'm grateful that you all join me every week, and you know, folks that have contributed to my business, like helping me out with shirts. Thanks, Tiff. Helping me out with mugs. Thanks, Miss Gail. So we just got it nice and incorporated in there. And then we're going to take some saran wrap. And if you don't have saran wrap, totally okay. You could use a plastic baggie or, you know, whatever works for you. You can leave it like that if that's what tickles your fancy. All right. And I decided to do this because, again, it's still kind of warm, and I'm trying to kind of keep it cool, keep it on the cool side, so I'm not over a hot stove for long periods of time. And I know you guys probably don't want to be over a hot stove for long periods of time. And I haven't quite got brave enough to take you out to my grill yet because it's kind of a hot mess, honestly. But it works, and I don't care. Long as it works. All right, so we got our little fat blob there. Gotta make sure, yep, you guys can see it all right. We're just gonna take this and kind of bring it up this way, and we're gonna squish it down a little bit. So we're gonna make like a little log. That's where this can come in handy. Again, some of you are gonna be way better at this than I am. That whole rolling thing, you know. So we're just going to make a little log. We're going to twist it at each end. And if you need to use this right away, put it in the freezer until it becomes solid again. But when it comes out, we can just slice it into little coins. And what I'm going to do on Wednesday with it might make your heart happy. So hopefully you'll join me on Wednesday. And then afterwards you'll listen to a story. Because that's what it's all about, right? Unfortunately, I almost always miss the story. So I have to watch it on replay. But it's on replay. So it's okay. It's okay. Herbs separate. Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if they're all going into one thing. Why would you do the herbs separately? Just dump all them bitches in one pile. It's okay. It's not, nobody else is gonna know. I mean, really. You're gonna mix it all in butter anyways. Who cares if they're together or separate, right? That's just more work. More work. We don't need more work. Yeah. Yeah. So, join me on Wednesday. We're gonna use this compound butter. It might make Zane happy and Tyler happy, so that's always a plus for me. I know, makes Zane happy. That's a shocker, right, guys? Especially you, huh? Wonderful. We're up to 105 subscribers. Super stoked about that. Love it. Keep sharing. Keep showing me love. I do have my very first free Flip It class on Thursday. If you haven't registered yet, I will post the registration, I guess, up here or down here, depending on if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. And I will also post my email if you want some Bare Bones Kitchen gear. And thanks a lot for letting me be your culinary coach. Love you all, and I'll see you on Wednesday.